Ladies and gentlemen, what I am trying to do right now is to demonstrate some of the common spaces or amenities at my building, condo that I'm renting at the moment via Airbnb. It's called the Median. And so I'm up on the 26th floor at the moment, and I am trying to kind of show what we've got going on here. I'm going to start with looking over the balcony here. Off in the distance, you can see there is a body of water. I think it is the channel between Cebu and the Mactan Lapu-Lapu area. As a matter of fact, the prominent bridge and kind of distinctive and famous bridge is sort of obscured from our view over here over my right shoulder. My view is just a different, I guess, angle or area of the city. I'm going to keep walking around the balcony here just to give you a little bit of a view. And unfortunately, it's a little overcast today. We're actually expecting a little bit of rain in the next hour or two. But yeah, as I move around, you'll be able to see the view here, but also some of the amenities, hopefully, or this common area for seating and socializing. Now, they have some signs up that indicate that they don't want you to bring food or drinks out here. I find that a little bit unusual or disappointing, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to obey and cooperate with that. I'm hoping that everything is being captured, even though there's some autofocus on my face, but I'm gonna have a seat here and continue to talk just a little bit. So just indulge me as I try to learn how to take advantage of this camera and make the best use of it. So I have been in Cebu since May 13, and I would say that overall it's been a very positive experience. There have been things that surprised me. I knew that there would be more poverty, but at the same time, there's a serious disparity between people with wealth that are succeeding at some level and people that are really, really struggling to survive. Give you an example of that. Today I was walking from the gym. It's called Metro Sports, and this gym is, I don't know, I'd say no more than a half a mile away from the condo, maybe more like a quarter mile, except that there's some navigation of potholes and you know, curbs and whatnot, narrow sidewalks, and so maybe it feels longer. Anyhow, as I was returning from the gym, I noticed a Ferrari coming down the street. You know, you don't see Ferraris too often, but I thought, wow, that is kind of notable, if nothing else. And then, you know, contrast that with having children come up to me and ask for money or to sell me something. And I have to say that I really cannot resist when somebody tries to sell me something instead of asking for a handout. Like I really do respect that, and I really do try to honor that. So I had some very young girls come up to me and try to sell me some dish towel, hand towel type of products, and they were nice, clean, actually would have been very useful to me. And you know, when they told me that they were hungry, could be true, could be untrue. But I absolutely could not resist. I thought that, you know what, they're not stealing or you know, causing mischief. They're trying to transact with people in a halfway honest way. So I thought, you know, what the heck, I can spare a couple dollars to buy a couple of these hand towels. I have noticed that there is, as you may know or may have noticed, I have frequented a handful of malls here. I feel like the malls are kind of a safe, sane, and predictable way to get out of the house, quote unquote, and know that I will have some relative comfort, meaning access to air conditioning, you know, have faith that the food quality standards and whatnot are fairly high. So when I'm looking for a low stress, low pressure way to get out of the house, yes, I will visit the malls. At the same time, I really am excited about exploring all the cultural sites, the historical sites, and some of the photos and videos that I've taken of those kind of places, I will continue to share. For example, I don't want to butcher the name, but recently went to some caves that were, historic in nature, underground cavern where there's stalactites and stalagmites, also kind of a swimming hole for people, allows them to get out of the sun. So I enjoyed checking that out. Went to a spot where a Spanish commander of some kind, I can't remember his rank or grade, but a Spanish commander basically signed a treaty, a truce, or some sort of compact with a native leader, and that was a really notable site where there were statues and artifacts around to kind of commemorate that special event. What else? Visited Magellan's Cross, where Magellan, it's not quite clear to me if it was Magellan himself or part of Magellan's crew was responsible for the placement of this cross, but there is a whole backstory available that is, posted on Wikipedia and that I could refer back to, but something that's been there for centuries and is associated with a church as well, and so I always find these things very interesting. Couple other things that are worth sharing. It seems like the sun is poking out a little bit more, which is cool. Although it's nice not to be sweating. I feel like there are, subtle differences that, who could prepare for. I'm used to using dish soap that's kind of like liquid consistency, sort of like a shampoo. They seem to use a dish paste here, which is like a very thick paste where you just need a touch of it, a dab of it to kind of scrub your dishes with a sponge. So I just got acquainted with that a few minutes ago. Other things that I was not prepared for, didn't really know any better, but it's no big deal, is the sewer systems are generally not designed to accommodate flushing toilet paper and tissues and things like that. So sort of like you might find in Mexico, you're kind of expected to use a waste basket for your tissue paper after using the restroom. And so, just small things that we take for granted or assume are universal, and come to find out that's not always the case. I'm going to transition to what I think is probably a more pleasant view if I sit in another chair here. So let's see if the camera is actually smart enough to follow me. Maybe, maybe not. No, okay, sorry camera. I guess I'm coming back. This is a new camera for me. I'm trying to get familiar with all of the features that it offers. Trying to take advantage of like auto tracking to kind of track my face. Frankly, there's also like a selfie mode, which I don't understand the difference yet, but all these things I'll work through over time. The other things I want to share, I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera, bring it towards me a bit. It should be smart enough to track me, and then I'll just reposition here into this other chair, maybe give you a better view. Now, I thought I told the camera that I wanted it to kind of track me in the left side of the screen. So let's see here if it will cooperate. I don't know. Anyways, here we are. And one thing I do want to mention, which is personal, but why not? One of the things that inspired me to check out the Philippines is, as I approached my 40s, I did sort of feel like I was invisible in the dating world and that I sort of missed my opportunities in the dating world. It's not common to meet somebody my age, or even close to my age, that is not already married with kids or that has not already been divorced once or twice. And, you know, in spite of my best efforts to go out on a handful of dates, I found that I wasn't really succeeding. And it was very difficult for me to understand because, you know, frankly, I feel like for somebody in their late 40s, I'm not the worst looking guy on earth. Not trying to say I'm extra handsome or anything like that. Obviously, I lost my hair some time ago, and you know, I could be in better shape. But I'm certainly not the most hideous man on earth. And frankly, my income was, you know, on the high side of average. But really, none of my dates turned into second dates or third dates, and it's discouraging. I would say that since I have been in the Philippines, that is quite different, and it might be that there's some affinity for Western men or for something that feels exotic. But I would say that almost every woman I meet is curious and concerned about whether I'm here with my wife or girlfriend or if I'm still single, and it's extremely flattering. Now, you may think that, well, it could be that the women are just looking for money. Maybe they're just gold diggers. They're looking for a payday. And I think that's fair criticism. It's a fair concern. However, I don't think it's much different than, you know, perhaps a mother encouraging her daughter to, you know, marry a doctor or a lawyer. And in my case, it just so happens that my girlfriend happens to earn a very respectable wage, a wage that would be reasonable or fair even in the United States, working as a manager for a Western corporation or a global corporation. And so in my case, I don't really feel like there's any risk or issue with somebody just pretending to like me or want to be with me because of money. I don't really see that as a problem. I think that I'm starting to feel some raindrops, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up and go try to review my footage, see if everything worked properly, because frankly, I'm not so sure that the camera did what I thought it was going to do. Like, I thought it was going to track my face in a different way or in a better way, but what the heck. We will get better over time. Thank you.